What if I told you there was one powerful tool that you as a pastor, you as a church leader could be underutilizing in terms of your strategy of reaching new people in your community, reaching new families? It's not social media. It's not your website. It is email marketing. Now, I know you're thinking email marketing, isn't that for for-profit businesses or for even nonprofits? Can I actually utilize email marketing to reach new people as a church in my community? The answer is yes. Email marketing, you probably are already using it for nurturing staff, nurturing volunteers, or even nurturing members that are already within the life of your church. But you could also utilize it to reach new families, people that don't know that you exist as a pastor, people that don't know that your church exists right there in the community. In this video, we're going to be breaking down 3 main ways that you can implement and use email marketing to reach new families in your community. Hey everyone, Brandon here with Richie Creative. Hey, if you're new to the channel, this is a resource for you, the pastor, for you, the church leader, to help you increase giving online, to help you get more people to events, to help you reach new families and new people in your community through your online presence. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do that. Click the notification bell so that you never miss an episode when it comes out, a training video, so that we can continue to learn together, grow together, and build websites that help hit our online objectives. So again, in this video, we're going to be covering 3 main ways that you as a pastor can implement email marketing to reach new families in your community. We're going to be talking about prospect emailing. We're going to be talking about promotional emailing. And then we're going to be talking about my favorite, which is personal emailing. This is the most fruitful form of emailing for actually converting emailers into actual visitors to your church location. Before we get into that, some statistics that I think you might find interesting. The first one comes from Constant Contact. It says 60% of consumers made a purchase thanks to a marketing email that they received. Now, I know you're thinking, I'm not a business, I'm not selling products, I don't have customers, but even this statistic showcasing the importance of promotional emails or marketing emails and the effectiveness of that in the business world, that translates to the church world as well. Because when you're sending out emails to people, you're capturing their interest, you're nurturing them, you're tapping them on the virtual shoulder time after time, then you're basically just making little touch points and little spikes to the relationship over time that will eventually result in them taking a deeper step or taking the next step with your brand. In this case, hopefully getting them through the doors of your church. The next statistic here that I think is pretty interesting is from Rain Sales Training. It says on average, it takes 8 touch points to close a sale. Now, again, you're a church, you're not closing sales. What you are trying to do is close a gap between a website visitor and an in-person visitor to your actual church location. And again, 8 touch points. What are these touch points? Phone calls, email addresses, people on your website, people on your social media platforms. So email marketing can be a great way to get some of these touch points in, because if you're doing email marketing the right way and you're setting up regular automations that are scheduled every week or every couple weeks, you're tapping people on the shoulder regularly. So you're not just sending one email, you're sending a series of emails or an automated sequence of emails that will hopefully help you get some of those 8 touch points in via email marketing. Okay, so let's start with prospect emailing. Again, this is the very top of the funnel. The first thing you're going to do, new families, new communities, you don't know them, they don't know you. You're basically sending out an automated message to thousands of people at a time, casting a wide net, seeing if you get any bites. If you get bites, then they're going to move to the promotional side of things. So again, the cold outreach is kind of step 1 for reaching these new families via email in your community. So where do the emails come from? Well, you might have a social media ad campaign, whether that's on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, you name it, that are pointing people to a resource that they can download in exchange for an email address. Or if you don't have any ads or you don't want to do it that way, you can also purchase email addresses. Similar to how you probably purchase a community's worth of physical mailing addresses that you send mailers to invite to events like Easter, you can purchase email addresses as well. So there are people that kind of make it their full-time job to harvest or collect these email addresses. You can tell them, hey, we're looking for women or men between the ages of 25 and 45 in Polk County. And that's what they're basically trained to do, is provide name, email address, and other information for potential people that might be interested in visiting your church. You can find people like this on a website like Fiverr or a website like Upwork. There's different freelance websites that you can kind of find people that can harvest these email addresses to give you these email addresses for these campaigns. Or again, you could get them a little bit more organically through paid ads on YouTube, Google, Facebook, Instagram, you name it. But regardless, now you have a list of thousands of email addresses, right? So what do you do with it? Well, if you're in Woodpecker, if you're in GMass, one of these cold email services that are actually dedicated and built for sending prospect emails, then what you're going to do is you're going to set up a campaign. Now, the first email might sound something like this. It might say, hey, Tracy, Hope this email finds you well. My name is Pastor Dan from Hillcrest Baptist here in Lakeland, Florida. Just wanted to reach out and let you know that we'd love to have you some Sunday morning, if that would interest you. We love connecting with families and neighbors in Polk County, and I'd personally love to meet you. Do you currently have a church that you visit regularly? Thanks for your time, Pastor Dan. So your email might be something like that. Pro tip, use as many snippets as possible for this initial prospect email. Snippets basically just mean you're going to put a name field in the prospect email database. You're going to put a county field if you want to do that. You can put all kinds of different fields and custom snippets so that it doesn't just say, hey, we'd love to have you visit. It's saying, hey, Dan, hey, Tracy, hey, Bobby, we'd love to have you visit X church. And so you can put certain snippets in there. Number one, it's going to help with deliverability because every message is going to be a little bit custom and a little bit different than the one before it. But then second, it's going to make it personalized. It's going to be a personalized message. So it doesn't just feel like a spammy email that some person in a different country might be sending you, but it feels like somebody in your actual county, in your actual city is inviting you to a real church that actually exists. So again, top of the funnel is prospect emails. You're sending out lots of emails, casting a wide net to a lot of people all at once using a service that is actually built for cold outreach like Woodpecker or GMass or something like that. Hopefully you get some nibbles and some people that might be interested. Some people might say, hey, I'll be there on Sunday. Some people might say, I'd like to go, but I need a couple months to decide first, or we're kind of shopping between churches. Regardless of what the response is, now that you've had some dialogue with them back and forth, now you can put them into a promotional email. So this is the next step in the funnel. You're going from prospect email to promotional email. Now, when you think of promotional email, you might be thinking of something that's like inviting somebody to an event or something like that, lots of graphics and images. Your promotional email certainly could be that. And if you've used MailChimp, they have great templates for those kind of promotional or marketing emails. We're going to actually make this email look like a classic email. It's going to look like you typed it up in Outlook or Gmail or something like that. So it might look like something like this. David, hope you're doing well. I know we emailed a bit back and forth 2 weeks ago. You mentioned at the time you had some interest in visiting Hillcrest Baptist in the near future. Just wanted to let you know that if you're still interested, this could be a good week to visit. I'd even personally love to help you plan your visit with us if there are any specific questions that you have. Hope to see you this Sunday, Pastor Dan. So again, this person you've already dialogued with, you've already connected with before in your prospecting campaign. So now they're not a stranger. They're kind of warmed up to you. They know who you are. You know who they are. And so this is basically putting them into an automated sequence to nurture them. So if the first prospecting part of the email strategy was lead generation, this would be considered lead nurture. You're nurturing somebody. Again, we had that statistic at the beginning of the show that basically talked about those 8 different touch points. So write 8 different emails, put them in an automated sequence in MailChimp, in MailerLite that basically they get one initial email like the one that we just read. 2 weeks go by, they get another email similar to that. And you're basically just tapping them on the shoulder every week, every couple weeks, every month, trying to get them to send you an email back so that you can be in the personal email phase, which is the very bottom or the very last part of the funnel. Or hopefully they show up on Sunday morning and are a first-time guest. Now, a cool thing about the promotional email phase is you can create different buckets or groups depending on the kind of person. So for instance, for somebody that says, yeah, I'll be there on Sunday, there's a group called Hot Lead, or it's called Next Sunday or something like that. For a group that says, yeah, we're interested, but we're going to need a couple months to kind of shop around churches or something like that. Maybe you call the group Warm Lead, or you call it Not Yet or something like that. Or maybe there's somebody that actually visited on a Sunday morning. They filled out a Connect card. So now you know that person actually did visit your church for the first time. So there's a group called First Time Visitors. So they've actually visited the church. Now this is where it gets kind of cool. You can create custom different automated email sequences for each group. So for somebody who's a cold lead or a warm lead or a hot lead, or they actually visited on Sunday morning and now you're trying to nurture them to come back or attend some events or whatever, you can create automated sequences that are tailored to those different kinds of people. Again, you don't want to send the same kind of email to everybody, because if you're sending an email trying to convince somebody to show up for the first time and they already visited before, that's going to feel a little bit weird. So again, you want to have separate, unique, custom email sequences set up for each of those different groups. And usually in MailerLite or MailChimp, it's pretty easy to move somebody from one group to another. So you can even have an intern or somebody in your team in the communications department move somebody from a first-time visitor group into a second-time visitor group, or move somebody from a warm lead group into a first-time visitor group, so that they're actually getting emails that are pertinent to them, that actually make sense to them. So far in the process, we started with prospect emailing, basically casting a wide net, trying to send tons of emails to hopefully get some people that might show a little bit of interest, putting those people into a promotional email until they become first-time guests at your church, or maybe they're just emailing you back and forth, which then funnels them into the bottom part of the funnel right before the goal, which is getting them through the doors of your church, which is personal email. So this is the third type of emailing that you're probably going to be doing with potential guests to your church, is personal email. Now, this is the most fruitful type of email out of all three, because this means that they're actually emailing you directly. They're asking you questions. You're answering questions. There's some rapport, some connection, some relationship happening, which usually means that you're going to have a higher chance of actually getting them to convert to not just emailers, but first-time guests and first-time visitors to your actual church location. A couple of pro tips that I think could make you more efficient, could help you to save some time, and just kind of make the personal email process and journey a little bit easier for you as a pastor or you as a church leader. Number one, you can set up templates. If you didn't know this, Gmail has a really great template feature. I think Outlook does as well. Basically, if there's an email that you find yourself writing many times to people that are potential visitors to your church, telling them about what to wear on Sunday morning, or what the parking lot's like, or Sunday school or connect groups or something like that, you can write out your email. You can save it as a template, name the template something that's easy to remember. And then the next time that you need to answer somebody's question, you can click use template, and then you can insert the template. It's going to save you a lot of time so that you don't have to write everything out all over again every single time that you answer that question. Another great tip that I think could be beneficial and helpful in the personal email side of things for you as a pastor, you as a church leader, is the schedule send feature. Gmail has a great schedule send feature. I believe Outlook does as well. But basically, let's say that you're getting back from church at 9 p.m. On a Wednesday night. You're answering some questions via email to some potential visitors to your church. But you don't want to send them a message at 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. because it might feel a bit weird. They'll just archive it instead of actually responding to it. Then you can actually schedule send the message for lunchtime the next day, or for 8 a.m. or 10 a.m. or whatever time you want to actually schedule send that message for. So again, templates, great tip for personal email. Also, the schedule send feature can save you some time, make you more efficient, and also increase the likelihood that your email actually gets responded to. So again, just to summarize, it's a 3-part framework for this email strategy. You're starting with prospect emailing, casting a wide net, sending out hundreds and thousands of emails, trying to see if there's any interest for people in your community. From there, they get moved into some groups or some segmented automated email campaigns in the promotional email side of things, tapping them on the shoulder, doing some brand touch points, trying to get them to at least write an email back to you, or maybe even show up for the first time on Sunday mornings. From there, the funnel gets even smaller with personal email, where you're actually getting personalized emails from people. You're sending personalized emails to people, and there's actually communication, dialogue, and a relationship happening. And then hopefully that leads somebody into not just being an emailer, but being a visitor on Sunday morning at your actual church location. Well, hopefully this video was helpful and beneficial just to think through how can we actually leverage email marketing and use email marketing as a way to reach new families in our community, to reach new people that might not even know that our church exists. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, just so you can be notified when a new training video comes out, so we can continue to grow together, learn together, and build websites that help us to maximize our impact in our communities. Remember, you can't use up creativity. The more you use, the more you have. Stay creative, and we'll catch you next time.